How we doing out there, Texas Motor Speedway? Make some noise. We are live around the world here at the AutoZone Showdown, round 7 of 8 of the Black Magic Formula Drift Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Let's introduce you to our drivers. Kicking things off, you can see him there in his gum-out multi-system tune-up Toyota Racing Toyota GT86 from New Hampshire. He's on Hankook tires. It is Ryan Turk. Next up, he is 3-time and defending Formula Drift champion. He's in the NOS Energy Drink 370Z on Hankook tires from Pennsylvania. It is Chris the Force Forsberg. Moving on down the line, he's in his V8 Falcon tires S14 from Wrightwood, California. He is Edimus Odi Bakshis. Next up, coming up from Dominican Republic, our hearts with those down there in the Caribbean as well. Jado Mental Don Papadakis Racing, next in tires, Toyota Racing Toyota GT86, Jonathan Castro. Moving on down the line, a former Formula Drift champion, the Turn 14 Distribution Falcon Tires, turbocharged V8 Subaru BRZ. It is Slide or Daijiro Yoshihara. He's got a big hat. He is the original Gucci. Look at that big old hat. Oh, gee. In the Gretty Performance Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla GT86 on Nexon tires, it is the OG Kenshiro Gucci. Howdy, y'all. Konnichiwa, Cowboys. All right, coming to us from Florida, our hearts with them as well. I like to call him Diddy. He's got bling, and he's all kitted out in all white. FixYourFuel.com and Juku Racing Hoonigan S14 from Flowride on Nexon tires. It is Alec Adele. Next up, coming from Medford, Oregon, the Pacific Northwest, I like to call him a villain. He is ready to do battle with all these gentlemen. This machine was built for war. Car number 959 on Nexon tires. It is Matt. Put him in a Kaufman. Originally from Michigan, he is red, white, and blue, but he is menacing in that all black Ford Mustang. Roush Performance Falcon tires, Ford Mustang. It is JTP Justin Pollock. Next up, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. He is ready to get his first ever win. How is he going to do it here in Texas? We're about to find out. In the HGK, Achilles Radio, Motul, Wisefab, Mass Motorsports, BMW from Latvia, Kristaps Blush. Next up, a former Formula Drift champion, the ESSA Autosports Achilles Radial BMW. Say hello to Michael Essa. Next up, he is in contention for a championship. Debuts a new car, and he's currently second in points. He has a fighting chance, and it might come down to Irwindale, the House of Drift. He's in the Rockstar Energy Drink. Next in tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla IM from Norway. He is Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo. And moving on down the line, originally from Pennsylvania, now residing in the Pacific Northwest. He's seen Texas, he's seen Florida, he's seen the world. He's in the BC Racing Nitto Tires Mustang RTR. He is Chelsea Denofa. 2010 Formula Drift champion, rounding out that Mustang RTR team. He's in the Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR. He's ready to rock. Vaughn Gittin Jr. He is a Formula Drift rookie coming from Poland. He is in the Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon tires. Beautiful looking S15. Say hello to Peter Vincek. Last but definitely not least, he is the winner of the Black Magic Top Qualifier Award winner. This comes with $500 cash, presented by Josh Miller, Territory Sales Manager for AutoZone. $500 cash, a case of Black Magic Intense, but James Dean told me in the driver's meeting yesterday he wants to donate the money to basically a hurricane foundation. So he's donating the money back to Black Magic, and he's donating all $500 towards a foundation, towards those that are in need. So congratulations to our #1 qualifier, a big heart. He's got some Irish luck on his side, but he's got a heck of a lot of skill to grab him 3 wins this year in the Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires S15. Your current points leader, James the Machine Dean. These are your top 16 qualifiers, your points leaders, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Who's gonna win here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway? Again, thank you to James Stone, Vice President, ITW Global Brands. Some awesome activation here. Again, giving the cash, it's going towards a good cause. Again, those that are in need due to the recent Harvey hurricane and the storm coming through, and Irma, I just kind of get choked up when I think about it. It's just a terrible tragedy that everybody's going through, even a lot of the associates and employees of ITW Global Brands. So thank you so much for joining us out here. We're about to kick things off here, round 7 of 8 of the Black Magic Formula Drift Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Okay, so you know what? We're getting right into it. We're gonna all killer, no filler, son. So we've seen qualifying yesterday. We saw 32 earlier. Now, I think the big factor here and the element we haven't spoken about just yet is the sun's going to set, the lights are going to come on, the smoke's going to get thick and dense. But let's talk about what we're going to be looking at here as far as event format.
Yeah, so we're basically going back to the 32 format. We've got drivers competing in single elimination head-to-head battles, each battle consisting of 2 runs. The higher qualified driver will lead the first run, chase the second. For the judges, though it is a very challenging job, it's really 3 possible options: driver A, driver B, or one more time.
Okay, and then taking a look at that track, as I said, you know, you have the sweeper, you have what's going in here, but we'll bring in Ryan Lontaine here to break down really what the judges are looking for, maybe what you've even seen in 32 and some standout moments or points of interest throughout the track.
Yeah, so one of the major things we're looking for is for the drivers to be initiated by that 1 cone that you see on the map there. So 3, 2, 1, the 3 and 2 are kind of a bit of an indication of where the drivers are as they're driving up. It helps them know where they are on the track. Once they get sideways, they need to fill outside zone 1, bring it into inside clip 1 without going in too early. This is more of like a racing line through here. They want to go wide, they want to go into the apex, and then out wide to outside zone 2. The touch and go is there. They don't have to fill the whole touch and go. They just need to get wide at the touch and go, bring the car inside to inside clip 2. They have to do all of this on throttle. As you can see on the map, it's green. Where it's green, you got to be moving, you got to be accelerating, you got to be on throttle. Then they have a slowdown zone approaching outside zone 3, where we had that issue with Heilbronn and Bluch. And then from there on, throttle back to the finish line by getting that inside clip, finishing wide, driver's left.
Now give us an idea, Ryan, just a refresher of the style aspect of competition. It's actually something very distinct in the way that you guys look at it, and if you could break that down for us.
Yeah, style is, we always talk about IFC for short: initiation, fluidity, commitment. Initiation, you want to be getting to angle quickly. You want to initiate by that latest initiation point. Again, here it's that 1 standing cone, and you want to make it smooth. You don't want to be getting to angle, taking angle away, getting back to angle again. It's got to be 1 fluid motion and done quickly. Fluidity is how well the car moves throughout the course on its rotational axis. So how well does it go from angle in one direction to angle in the other? And you want to be going from a high degree of angle in one direction to the other as well. Commitment, you're looking at throttle commitment. A big part of that comes into play after initiation. What you want the car to get back on throttle really quickly and stay committed on throttle all the way through the course. We want you to approach outside zone 3, which is that kind of where the wall is, basically, where those 2 red markers are over there. We want the drivers to approach that with speed, with momentum, and also with confidence as well. We don't want them to slow down early and then kind of speed up to it. You want to stay on throttle as long as you can, then slow down as you're approaching the wall. Get back on that throttle and power all the way through to the finish line.
And then finally, let's talk just about the incompletes, which used to be zeros. We've got a few more in the head-to-head matchups as opposed to qualifying, so if you could break those down.
So an incomplete run would happen if the driver spun out.
Welcome back here to Texas Motor Speedway. If you're tuning in, let everybody know, or if you're here in the building, hashtag FD TX. That's Formula Drift, Texas. And we have our first battle here on deck, and you can see them warming up their tires. And Ryan, we have James Dean versus Alec Adele. James Dean, he has beaten Alec Adele previously one time this year earlier, and you know, but Alec Adele, he looks like he's eager, man. He looks like himself.
This is a huge opportunity here for Alec Adele, and you have to imagine that Frederick Ozzo is going to be looking on, his team is going to be looking on this battle in particular, because if James were to lose here, it's a huge opportunity for Frederick Ozzo, and this is no easy matchup by any means of the imagination. We've seen Alec Adele do some incredible things with that vehicle, so we can expect a really competitive battle here.
Well, you saw his kind of MacGyver-esque type fix there to his shifter. He had bungee cords from his shifter going to the back and to cause tension to it. I mean, did you see it? No, you didn't see it, Edgar? Okay. Yeah, so he had a MacGyver-esque type mechanism there in his vehicle. Did he fix it? Who knows? We're about to find out if it's enough to take down our current points leader, James Dean. Is he going to play spoiler? James Dean initiates into that first outer zone. Adele way back and right out of the gate. No problem for James Dean. James Dean continues through the course and makes quick work of Adele, and you can see him trying to step it out. And Adele, unfortunately, a mechanical failure for him early on, Ryan.
Well, definitely very anticlimactic there. Yeah. Expecting a lot out of Adele, but it looks like mechanically the vehicle is just not sound. You can see he had trouble on initiation. He gets to angle, and then he's not able to keep it going. James Dean, in the meanwhile, he's got that clean air out in front of him, smooth sailing all the way to the finish line. It'll be an incomplete for Adele, and a tough challenge here. You can see that he pulled off course. He'll have to utilize his competition timeout, and we hope that we will see him in the second half of this battle, but it does look like he is actually turning around to go back to the pits.
All right, excuse me. So that will be an incomplete run there for Alec Adele, and that will mean that James Dean will have a massive advantage there. I want to send a shout out to my family watching at home, Parker Jett, Tyson Bravo, Stephanie Dienda, love you. See you guys tomorrow as, wow, just... All right, so a competition timeout from Adele. And right now, we are seeing Christophe Bluch pull to the line. Chelsea Denofa turn into the burn-up box. He's going to warm up his Nitto tires. Ryan, where do you lie on this? I'm seeing the stats here. They've never gone against each other. Christophe, Chelsea, where are you thinking? Which way is the needle going to go?
I pretty much lie with the stats. I don't know.
Wow, that's a safe bet.
Yeah, it is.
You know, Chelsea Denofa, this is his first year in the Ford Mustang. I think he's gotten better every round. Christophe, he got into a tussle with Gucci earlier. You know, I think Chelsea's got it in him. I think Christophe has it there. This is going to be a fun one to watch because you have two very different styles. You have this Latvian style. You have Chelsea Denofa. He has this kind of all-American style.
Yeah, well, we know that Bluch definitely has the speed and the grip, and that may be a factor here, but Denofa's team is really on it when it comes to understanding what the vehicle needs to do against many different types of competitors. You're almost certain that they made the appropriate adjustments to factor in the speed of Bluch, and with Denofa's driving style and the way that he's willing to push it aggressively, you can just expect that this is going to be an excellent battle.
All right, so Christophe Bluch will lead. He qualified 8th compared to Chelsea Denofa 9th, so it's a fairly equally matched battle. Here we go. Christophe Bluch out front, HGK Motorsports, Achilles Radial Tires, go ablaze. Chelsea Denofa right there on the door of the BMW. Chelsea applying the pressure. Woo! Through the power alley. Christophe and Chelsea go. Transition, taking out that front clip. Christophe into that outer zone. A little weeble wobble, but he does not fall down. Into that final front clip. Make some noise, Texas. You!
I love Chelsea Denofa's approach here. Very aggressive. He doesn't go nose to tail. He actually chooses to go side by side here. Now, he will miss that outside zone because of that and make some contact with Bluch, but Bluch stays in it. And I think that aggressiveness is definitely what's needed here to not let Bluch run away. You can see Denofa comes through the smoke line. He's got good angle there, but he's a little bit tight on the line. He's maintaining excellent proximity here as Bluch misses that third outside zone by a little bit. So a great battle here. A good calculation by Denofa to stay tight to Bluch and not let him run away. And Bluch, amazing for not spinning out after the contact there on initiation. And overall, a very solid battle between these two competitors.
Unbelievable beginning to a battle there between Chelsea and this is what I kind of expected. You just never know with somebody like Chelsea Denofa just throwing down like that. And I feel like Chelsea trusts Christophe Bluch. But look at that. Look at the attitude of that Ford Mustang, which has really become the signature of that Mustang RTR. It looks more like a Pro 2 truck than a drift car. Just the development of those Mustang RTRs. Really loose, floaty. You can see it compared to the BMW of Christophe Bluch. Carnage all over the track. But, man, some precise driving there by both these guys. I really want to see how Christophe is going to chase that, as I said, a very floaty Ford Mustang. But knowing Christophe, he's been applying the pressure, and we saw him get into the back of Alex Hilbrun. We were talking about earlier, protested it, got denied there because the judges thought that he yanked his e-brake into the non-decel zone that was into that rear clipping zone. So I have a feeling that Christophe Bluch is really going to entrust Chelsea Denofa with a strong lead run.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a fan at home, a really fun thing that you can do is just watch those back wheels when they go from inside clip number 2 into outer zone number 3. Within that zone, the drivers should be accelerating through that zone, not hitting the e-brake. So if you see an e-brake there and we have some sort of contact, you know that the driver was not utilizing that zone properly.
Here we go, red lights are on, now they extinguish, it's go time. Send it, Chelsea Denofa, Christophe Bluch. What are we gonna see? Who's gonna come out on top? Who's going on to the grade 8? Chelsea Denofa initiates. Christophe's not with the pressure we just saw from Denofa, but just as I say that, he reels him in, throws a hook into the door. You can see that Christophe Bluch off of that rear clipping zone through the power alley, past that front clip, into that final outer zone. Chelsea fills it, so does Christophe. Into that final clipping point. Round of applause for these two gladiators.
Very difficult to be unexcited by that. A great start here to the top 16 with these two amazing competitors. You can see Bluch takes a little bit of a different approach here. He's going to go nose to tail. As Denofa comes out of the chicane, Bluch is going to tuck behind him. Denofa is going to do a great job filling that zone. Now Bluch is going to try to attack on the inside here. Denofa's on that second hash mark. Now Bluch is going to miss that second outer zone by staying a little bit too tight on that inside line from inside clip number 1. Now coming through this last and final turn, you can see Denofa completely fills that zone. Bluch is right there with him, but back a little bit. He just taps that last inside clip. It's a great battle overall, and the judges certainly have a lot to digest.
Wow, yeah, just unbelievable. And Ryan, we're hearing that potentially Alec Honadale is retired. That means he is not able to advance on. We'll get to that in just a moment as we await the verdict here between these gentlemen of Christophe Bluch and Chelsea Denofa. Here it is side by side, Ryan. I always think this is a great opportunity to see, you know, tit for tat.
Yeah, you can see the different approach on initiation. Denofa aggressively came up right on the inside, and that caused him to miss that outside zone, but I think it actually worked for him because he was really able to keep really good proximity on that first outer zone. Now through this section here, you can see Bluch is going to tap that e-brake and miss that outer zone a little bit, whereas Denofa fills it completely. Bluch sticks with him through that zone as well. So you got both drivers a couple little things, but overall, that was really exciting to watch.
Dude, unbelievable. Great way, I mean, I would say to start the 16, but we already saw Dean and Honadale, you know, run one half of their battle, but we'll see as Honadale, we're hearing, has unfortunately broke his diff. So that means James Dean would move on. But right now, Denofa, Christophe, slide him left for Denofa, right for Bluch. Ryan says, Chelsea Denofa. Brian says, Chelsea Denofa gets the win. Denofa takes down the Latvian lover. And yeah, we are hearing that Alec Honadale has suffered a broken diff. Lorette is with Alec now.
Alec Honadale, just a second to catch up with you. What happened on the track and why did you call the 5-minute timeout before it ended?
So as soon as we initiated with James Dean, you know we got to go hard. So I clutch kick, ended up breaking the diff. So went a little too hard tonight, but you know we're going to come back stronger than ever next time. Thank you.
All right, well, still in high spirits there. Alec Honadale still has his fans regardless, and he's a hard charger. That's the kind of driver we're looking for. And Denofa and Honadale. And there is two drivers now in the grade 8. Next up, So this is a James Dean bye run here, Ryan. So James Dean will have his bye run. That means he advances on into the grade 8. Dean Denofa, they're going to be seeing competition, and this just further propels him towards the 2017 championship, Ryan.
Yeah, at this point, all the pressure is on Osbo. Dean has moved in to the grade 8, and Osbo is up next against JTP. This is an absolute must-win as Osbo looks on and watches his fellow competitor that keeps inching towards that championship trophy every battle that he moves forward in competition, as Osbo and JTP are now warming up their tires for their battle in the top 16. Have we done the math here? You know, basically Osbo goes, I know we've kind of worked all the different scenarios, and I know we did that before even top 32 and the day began, but have we done the scenarios here if Osbo gets knocked out here, Dean moves on? You know, I mean, I know everybody's kind of working on it. Yeah, the scenario I think that would need to happen where we get interesting is if Osbo gets knocked out here and Dean does win the event. That's the one we need to look at if he's able to lock it up at that point. So Frederick Osbo warming up his necks and tires underneath his Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla IM. The hot hatchback, the freshman year for this vehicle. He's going against JTP, Justin Pollock, who has really worked out that Ford Mustang. We got 7 battles between the two of them. Frederick Osbo, 5 wins out of the 7. Osbo, 74% winning percentage. That is probably, if not, I believe it's the highest winning percentage. So, as Justin Pollock, 59.7. I have a feeling that Justin's really going to apply the pressure here. Frederick Osbo has really become quite a robot, just putting the car in all the right places. And what's really impressive about that, to me, is that, again, this is the first year they've developed this car, this Toyota Corolla IM. He was in a TC before, and, you know, what he's done with this vehicle so quickly is very, very impressive. So hats off to his Papadakis Racing team. All right, so Frederick Osbo will be leading. Justin Pollock will be giving chase. Osbo, now keep in mind, Osbo has not seen a head-to-head battle today because he qualified 4th. So he got the fast pass into the top 16. He has not seen competition. Could that help him? Could that hurt him? We're about to find out. Osbo out front. Pollock in the chase position. Through that start chicane, we got a clean start. Frederick Osbo initiates, filling all that rear outer zone. Nice job by Osbo. Justin Pollock trying to be the black shadow that he is. Into that front clip, now into the power alley, really pulling away, severing himself. That 4-cylinder turbo just nicking the edge of that front clip. Boom, like I said, the robot puts it into the right spots. Well, standard operating procedure here for Frederick Osbo. Go down and lay near a 100-point run. That's exactly what he does here. He fills that zone, but you got to give a lot of credit to Justin Pollock here. He charged through this section of the course. Didn't get lost in Osbo's smoke as he filled that second outer zone. Now a little bit of separation here, but watch Pollock in the chase position come zooming through the smoke line. Puts big angle in the car to avoid hitting Osbo, then sets himself up nicely for that final corner. So he could have let Osbo get away there, but he didn't. He held him tight. Osbo had a solid lead run. JTP is going to need to be able to do the same. And Osbo is going to have to keep the pressure on Justin here. Close battle so far. All right, so Justin Pollock will now have the clean air. He's going to be out front in that Roush Performance Ford Mustang. On Falcon tires, Frederick Osbo, that Toyota Corolla IM, he just works that thing right to the door of his competitors. We got some of our officials. Looks like they're underneath Pollock's car. Seeing what's going on. Again, this is a big battle here, just talking about the overall 2017 championship. Frederick Osbo coming into this round 2nd in points. And with Kristaps going out, that definitely shakes things up in the point standings. And JTP will be leading. Frederick Osbo will be given chase. After this, we have Ryan Turk versus Ken Gucci, which they have a storied past. They've gone to a tussle in Canada most recently, which is very exciting. Here we go, JTP, Frederick Osbo.
Justin Pollock through the start chicane. And it's a clean start. Into the Black Magic Intense. Clipping points. Filling it all. Justin Pollock throwing some gangster angle at it. Into that first clip. Scaring that Black Magic clip and knocking it over. Big, deep angle by Pollock. Pollock putting down a very signature line. Big, massive angle. Wraps it around. Liked how stylish that was there, Ryan.
Tremendous run from Justin Pollock out front. You can see great initiation. Gets right back on throttle. Pulls a little bit of a gap on Osbo here at the beginning. Osbo trying to close the door here. Comes through this second outer zone through the smoke cloud. Tries to close the door, but big angle here from Justin through the smoke line as Frederick Osbo. But Justin is deep into that third outer zone. Great job there. Big angle by Pollock out front. And then right there, Osbo gets a little bit closer towards the end. So JTP did pretty much what he needed to do on his lead run there.
Yeah, it just had that, again, I keep bringing up the X factor, just that one extra thing, just the degree of angle. And visually, you know, the Mustang is longer than that Toyota Corolla IM. So dynamically, you know, has a back bumper. The Mustang compared to the Toyota Corolla IM looks like that trunk got lopped off. Visually, you know, it's more dynamic, it's more fluid. So yeah, it looks pretty sweet. So as we are about to see who is going to move on, JTP, Frederick Osbo, the winner, will go against Ken Gushi or Ryan Turk. That is the next battle on deck. And here we are, the results. Slide him left for Pollock, right for, and it's a one more time. One more time for Osbo. So he lives to see another day. Talking about both these guys, but talking about the championship, Frederick Osbo will see some more tire burning and potentially some more points. Ryan Turk and his gum out multi-system tune-up Toyota Racing Toyota GTA. Look at this, 10 battles between them. Ryan Turk just edging him out with 6 wins over Ken Gushi's 4 overall. And then winning percentage, 61.1% compared to 53.1%. Both these guys on Toyota Racing, both of them in GT86s, both 2 JZs, but 2 very different driving styles, competitors. But again, good friends. But now they're about to throw down here at the AutoZone Showdown. Where are my Ryan Turk fans at? Make some noise. Where are my Ken Gushi fans? Make some noise. Where are my drifting fans? Make some noise. Well, here we go. Ryan Turk, Ken Gushi. The lights are not illuminated just yet. Waiting for our official clear to send. You can see the lights right in between the 2 guys. The start chicane, if a cone is knocked over, that's strike 1. Knock it over again. You could basically have a strike if you sit and wait on the line, or if you jump the line or knock over a cone, 3 strikes and you're out. All right, so. And now here we go. Ryan Turk, Ken Gushi. Send it into that first outside clipping zone. Ryan Turk all the way out in the outside zone. Ken Gushi foregoing it to gain that proximity, that angle. You can see him knocking over that front clip. Now into the power alley, gaining some ground. Big angle from Ryan Turk. That smoke signal, that smoke line is really in Ken Gushi's face. Ryan Turk getting all the way out to that outside zone, tightening up to that final front clip and dialing it in. Nice job by Ken Gushi and Ryan Turk out front. Yeah,
Gushi, another one of these drivers that's taken this approach to initiate on the inside, forego that outer zone to maintain proximity in that first turn. I think that's a good bet for some of these drivers because it gives them the allure of being at closer during a longer duration. You can see coming through the power out here, Turk's got big angle, kind of causes Gushi to go a little bit off that second inside clip and then through this third outer zone. Pollock was a little bit short there. Gushi's able to close the door toward the end. So good competitive battle so far as we look on with Frederick Osbo, who's trying to prepare for his one more time battle with Justin Pollock.
All right, 2 new rear tires there for Frederick Osbo, topping off the fuel. Getting some words there from Lorette Nickel as well. All right, so Ken Gushi will now lead. Ryan Turk will give chase. Getting some great weather here out at Texas Motor Speedway. And we are clear to send from our official. And the lights are extinguished. It's go time. Ken Gushi out front, ready performance. Toyota Racing, Toyota GT86 quickly initiating into the outside zone. You can see that separation there, Ryan, you're talking about that. Ken Gushi missed out on that outside zone. Now through the power alley goes Gushi and Turk. Into the final outside zone. And past that final front clip goes Gushi and Turk. So different strategies here, Ryan.
Well, Turk also kind of opting a little bit for that inside line, but he was almost going to cut back over and go nose to tail, but you can see it cost him a little bit there because he loses some proximity to Gushi coming through that first turn. Now, Gushi does fill that second outer zone. He's on a mid-high line coming through that second inside clip, but is able to fill that third outer zone and keep that separation from Turk, who misses that last inside clip there. So you can see just how important it is to choose that initiation properly, depending on who your competitor is and how their vehicle is set up, because one little mistake, you can let that driver run away.
I think this is a good opportunity to show the side-by-sides, because I think there's this, you know, Gushi was on that first initiation, the outside zone, he was way shallower than Ryan Turk, but it caused him to gain that proximity. So you're really, it's a level of compromise here to there and gaining ground in particular areas throughout the track, because once you're off him, it seems that you're off. So
yeah, no doubt about it. It was actually a big topic of conversation in the judges meeting this morning about what do you want to see us do as the chase driver. You want us to see us be door to door, you want to see us fill the outer zone. We want to see you fill the outer zone, but we also want to see you door to door.
Want to see all of it.
So a lot of guys that are trying to do both, if they can, are basically going nose to tail and trying to stay nose to tail on initiation, but it's really, really challenging, and you really have to pick your poison.
All right, so here we go. Ken Gushi, Ryan Turk, who's advancing on. One more time from Ryan. Brian saying, oh, Andy's saying Ken Gushi, and Brian saying one more time. So it's a one more time battle once again. So one more time between these two Toyota GT86s. So. All right, so James Dean looking on feverishly. That's you. Look at that inception. So James Dean, Peter Vincic looking on here at the screen to see what transpires here as far as Frederick Osbo. Frederick Osbo, again, needing to move on to really still have a shot at the championship. So Frederick Osbo will lead. Justin Pollock will give chase on this one more time battle between these two guys. And we saw how well Frederick Osbo placed the car. Justin Pollock. So here we go. Into that outer zone. And there's Pollock on the door. So it seems like he takes that little shallower line. Not as shallow as I saw previously from Gushi. And into that power alley. Shortening up some angle. And you can see him gain that ground. Rip up into that outer zone. So I would say that was a good level of compromise there for Justin Pollock. Didn't go too shallow, didn't go too, you know, on the angle. It seemed it was good.
I think he did a little bit better job in the first battle, though. He didn't give himself this gap that he had here, and you can see that he's much shallower in angle coming around inside clip number one. He does do a much better job on the last section of the course. He shoots straight across that power alley in order to gain proximity, and he pretty much needed to do that. He has big angle here, but you can see Frederick Osbo out front, pretty much not missing a beat there. Nice solid lead run from Frederick Osbo. And now we've got to mix things up here as James Dean looks on. He knows that if Osbo were to go out here and he were to get second place, he could lock the championship. So these guys are waiting on and taking a look at all the action on course with bated breath.
Yeah, I mean, just focusing on Frederick, you know, I was kind of more focused on Justin Pollock. When you look at Frederick Osbo in that replay, he put his car in all the right places. He had a great degree of angle, and now it's really going to come down to how is he going to chase? Chase for chase, lead for lead in comparison. Justin Pollock out front. Osbo in the chase position. Quick little feint entry into the outside zone. And Frederick Osbo knows it, not mimicking the angle all the way, but really showing some proximity dominance. As Pollock taps over that front clip, filling all of that outer zone, is Justin Pollock and Frederick Osbo. Feeling it.
Well, I think Osbo could have capitalized a little bit better here on Pollock's mistake on the first run, but you can see he's got low angle here too. He does have the proximity, and now he's matching angle. He makes a little bit of a mistake there. Justin comes through the second outer zone, does a great job there. Osbo, again, a little bit of wavering in the chase position. Pollock through this last section of the course, fills that zone completely. Now Osbo's right on the door of Pollock through that last section of the course. So both drivers on their initiation through that first turn into inside clip number 1, making a couple mistakes.
Smoke filling here this Texas Motor Speedway throughout the day. Justin Pollock, Frederick Osbo. Slide him left for Pollock, right for Osbo. Does Osbo have a fighting chance still in the championship? And there it is, unanimously. Frederick Osbo gets the victory, taking out Justin Pollock. So, Frederick Osbo, that Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla IM on Nexen Tires. We'll see competition again, and now in the Great 8. Ryan Turk at the line. Ryan Turk in the lead position. Ken Gucci in the chase here on this one more time battle. Could see Gucci warming him up there in the back. Ken Gucci, a veteran since 2004. Ryan Turk joining the Formula Drift Sanction Body in 2005 in Chicago in the shadow of Soldier Field. It was that long ago. 13 years ago, man. 2018 marking 15 years of the Formula Drift Championship. And now we are ready to see Ken Gucci, Ryan Turk go at it again for this one more time battle. The winner going against Frederick Osbo. Some more Toyota Racing battles here, as all Toyota Racing right now, and then Osbo on Toyota Racing Camp as well. These guys running 2 JZs under the hood. Frederick Osbo running the 4-cylinder turbo under the hood of the Corolla IM, and away they go through the start chicane. Let's see what kind of approach, Ryan. We had very different strategies there on that last run. Ryan Turk throws it in, big angle there. Past that front clip into the power alley. You can see him filling all that rear zone. Ryan Turk lunging forward. Ken Gucci falling back. Ryan Turk just barely dipping his hand-cooked tire in the corner of that outside zone. Ken Gucci knocking over that final clip.
We remember from the first battle, we saw Gucci taking that inside line here. He does that again. Try to keep proximity to Ryan Turk. Gets that front tire on the dirt for a second, but great job by Gucci keeping close here. But then Turk comes through the second outer zone, accelerates through the power alley, pulls a little bit of a gap on Gucci here, but he's unable to fill that final outer zone there. So a little bit of a mistake out front from Turk in not getting deep to that third and final outer zone. And now Gucci will have an opportunity to go to the lead. Ryan Turk to the chase position, and you can see both drivers, a couple little mistakes there. Things to improve on run number 2.
All right, so we're going to alternate the order here. Ken Gucci will be out front. Ryan Turk will be given chase. Hashtag FDTX. Seeing some of the people chiming in here. Dean, the one and only king. Where's the rotaries? We got still one rotary in the mix. Kyle Mohan, unfortunately, did not make it from 32 to 16. Travis. James the Generous Dean. I don't know exactly what that means, but okay. And yeah, Denofa and Blush, what a battle. Definitely concur and agree with that. As we are about to see who is going to advance on second half of this battle, and we are clear to send. Who's advancing on the Ford top 16? The Gretty Performance Toyota Racing Toyota GT86 on Nexen tires. Ken Gushi will now lead. Total system, gum out total system tune-up. In the chase position, the 86 of Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk giving himself some distance there. I don't know if that's going to pay off. Quickly, Ken Gushi throws some angle at it. Ryan Turk now being left in that Nexen tire smoke, now gaining some ground. Into that final outer zone goes Ken Gushi and Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk and Ken Gushi past that first front clip.
Turk having a little bit of trouble here on that first turn here. Gushi, nice snappy initiation. Turk falling back. You can see a little bit less angle there. Gushi on that second hash mark through that first inside clip. Great job filling that second outer zone. Turk way behind through the power alley, now starting to catch up. Takes a little bit of a tighter line here, but Gushi is able to fill that third outer zone, and then Turk goes long on that last inside clip. So a nice rivalry between these two competitors here. Both drivers having it out. This is run number one. You can see Gushi stays tight around that first inside clip. Turk drops that tire there. Gushi through the smoke line. This is where Gushi falls back a little bit, but again, Turk was not able to fill that final outer zone. Gushi has a little bit of distance there to make up. So there's both runs back to back.
All right, so we are waiting for the verdict here between Turk and Ken Gushi. Slide him left for Gushi, right for Ryan Turk, Ryan, Brian, and Andy. Ryan says one more time. They went two one more times last year. Brian says Ken Gushi, and Andy says Ken Gushi gets the win. Ken Gushi takes out Ryan Turk. After one more time, we saw those words from Ken Gushi earlier today talking about one more times, and now, again, 11 battles between them. Ryan Turk with 6, and now Ken Gushi with 5. All right, so unfortunately, we are hearing that Matt Kaufman, who was our number 2 qualifier, at one point our number 1 qualifier, has popped his engine, and that means Matt Kaufman is unable to run. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. will have his bye run. Matt Kaufman popped his engine and is unable to run, unfortunately. Oh, he looked so good yesterday. You could see him over there in the pre-grid area. And now the car number 959, Nexen Tire S13, will not be seeing competition against Vaughn Gittin Jr. So it'll be a bye run for Vaughn Gittin Jr. and his Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will advance on into the Great 8. And there's Vaughn's bye run in his Ford Mustang. And that means he will advance on. Michael Essa warming up his tires as he'll be going against Chris Forsberg. Okay, so if you submitted your Drifts Wheels text, Elizabeth Carr, congratulations. You have won a set of Drifts Hardcore Wheels for the Street. Again, congratulations, Elizabeth Carr. And then in the Centerline alloy wheels, congratulations to Levi Short. Levi Short, you have won your set. You've won yourself a set of Centerline alloy wheels. Again, Centerline alloy wheels. Congratulations, Levi Short. All right, Michael Essa on the Essa Autosports Achilles Radial BMW on the line. Chris Forsberg warming up his hand-cooked tires. You can see the stats there, 7 battles between them. Chris Forsberg winning 6 out of the 7. Michael Essa. All right, so as Chris Forsberg pulls the line, this is reminiscent of the 2013 Formula Drift Championship where both these guys were going for it. Michael Essa came out on top. And now here we are, 2017. Michael Essa back behind the wheel of a BMW. Forsberg changing his engine platform. He's been running a V8 the past few years. And now he has switched it up to the VQ setup. VQ twin turbo as opposed to the 5.6 liter V8 stroked out with nitrous. Michael Essa qualifying 7th compared to Chris Forsberg's 10th. So fairly equally matched here for these two drivers. Chris Forsberg, 3-time and defending Formula Drift champion. NOS energy drink. 370Z on hand-cooked tires in the chase position. Essa initiates strongly, whips it into that outer zone. Essa pulls past that front clip, pushing his bumper all over the track. And now, ripping through the power alley is Essa and Forsberg. Into that outer zone goes Essa. And Essa, look at that cloud of smoke, some of the thickest smoke signals in Formula Drift competition. Ryan, taking a look at this, you know, Essa, he has a smooth line here. Looks good. But man, Chris Forsberg it looks like he just found some secret horsepower. Yeah, I don't know if Essa slowed down there, or if it was just Forsberg speeding up, or if it was a combination, but the amount of ground that he closed there was pretty impressive. Yeah. That was a very smoky run. Right? And then he looked like he turned it on there when he went to that the third and final outer zone. Yeah, he came in so hot behind Essa, it looked like he had to kind of adjust his line a little bit to avoid making contact, or he thought he might make contact. A heck of a run up there. That was pretty impressive. All right, so now we are seeing Chris Forsberg. He will be leading, as we see again. Thank you to our track and staff workers. Forsberg will now lead. Essa will give chase. All right, so again, Forsberg here on the start line. Forsberg and Christoph Bluch the second, Christoph Bluch, what am I talking about? Michael Essa, excuse me. Got my BMWs confused there. Chris Forsberg, Michael Essa. All right, track is clear. We had Michael Essa's bumper on track, one of the clipping points out of position, so now we are clear to send. Forsberg now out front. Essa in the chase position. All right, and the start lights illuminate and extinguish. Send it. Chris Forsberg, NOS Energy 370Z on hand-cooked tires out front. Essa Autosports, Achilles Radial, BMW right to the door. Forsberg transitions into that first front clip, coming to the power alley. Michael Essa not getting out to that second outer zone, now coming into the third and final zone. Filling all of it as Forsberg, and Essa goes into the tire wall. And Michael Essa goes hard into the tire wall. Let's make sure he's okay. It looks like we did see some hands waving. And the door is open. Let's take a look at this again. So Forsberg initiates. Essa Looks like he rolled into that initiation. Essa is out of his car. We are seeing him. Applause is erupting. So into this power rally, you saw Forsberg really get into that second outer zone. Essa did it. Now they're taking out that outer. But coming in here, Forsberg goes deep. He gets all the way out there. Essa just too deep.
You could tell the way that Essa had himself set up going into that outside zone 3. He was already further back than Forsberg was, and you could tell that he was going to be a little bit wide. It was going to be really, really tight whether or not he made it or not, but he took a chance, tried to stay close. He was having a really good run in the chase. He was on Chris's door pretty much all the way through. Much better proximity, and he just miscalculated a little bit as he transitioned, got himself a little too far back, and this is the result.
I don't know. I mean, just it seems like, you know, I really liked Essa's pressure, but it seemed like he was missing rear clipping zones in order to do that. The first one, the second one, he was close to him on that front clip.
Right.
But when it came to this power rally, as you said, he was out. So, I mean, take a look at this again.
This is the first
Forsberg
one
in the chase position.
Yeah, exactly. So looking at this one, Forsberg fell off a little bit right here. Essa filled that zone beautifully. Somehow Chris catapulted out of there. And you can see here, he goes a little bit wider, gets himself back in. He managed to get a pretty good line, but he didn't have the proximity there through that last section that I guess he was anticipating to have. Now as we look at the next run, Essa got in behind him, and look how close he stays with him all the way through this section. He doesn't have to make too many compromises until this point. There he's off of outside zone 2. Right there he went wide enough that he hit both cones. As he transitions again here, his front wheel was at the Chris's back wheel, and he tried to get it back in, but Chris is just so deep that couple of feet further back that he was ended up getting him in there.
I just want to back it up because this seems to from onset, that first rear clipping zone. What did the judges clarify? Do they want the proximity, or do they want them to fill that rear zone, that first initiation zone?
Well, ideally you'd have both.
Well, I mean, it seems like the drivers are either choosing kind of middle of the road, but they're not fully committing to following that lead car into that zone.
Right. We're always going to look at the compromises that each driver makes to either gain or maintain proximity, and we're looking for the minimum amount of those concessions that they're going to make. And it's the drivers that make the minimum amount of corrections or errors or missed zones that are going to move on. And it's getting difficult now with the speed that we're reaching on this track. You have to be very precise everywhere you go. You can't make big mistakes because you're just going to fall off and never have that proximity. This being that full throttle track all the way through, there's only one slowdown area where you can actually kind of suck up to the lead driver. If you don't have proximity early on this track, it's just one that you can't regain anywhere.
Yep, I agree. All right, we'll take a quick break here. We'll clean up some track. Thank you, Ryan Lontaine, for some insight here, and we'll get a verdict here. We're going to take a short break here. Round 7 of the Blackmagic Formula Drift Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras.
All right, well, let's make it official here as we go to the winner of Chris Forsberg and Michael Essa. And there you go, Chris Forsberg moves on. And now let's head down to the hot pit with Laurette Nickel. She's standing by with Frederick Osbo.
Frederick Osbo, you stressed yourself out going against JTP. Why did you do that?
JTP is a tough pick. You know, he's one of those guys that brings tons of flair to the track. He has great style, great angle. And my goal was to put down good qualifying runs and then chase him closely. The first lead was okay, but I lost my rhythm chasing him, and luckily, I should say, he wasn't quite able to match us either. So went one more time, and in the one more time, almost lost it in the chase. I nudged him on coming out of turn 1 and kind of reeled him back in, and luckily, we went on and into top 8.
Are you putting too much pressure on yourself?
You would think so, right? Because now we're in Texas, next up is Irwindale, and there's a lot at stake, but at the same time, I've been in this game long enough to know that the results will unfold. I think it's more that I know that some of these competitors are super hard to beat. So, you know, you just got to bring your A game, and Justin's a good friend of mine, and this time we sent him packing, but I know he can take us back anytime. Thank you.
All right, so Frederick Osbo having some words with Lorette Nickel, and you know, kind of putting the pressure on himself, putting the pressure. You know, it seems like that seems to be the trend here, especially in Texas. Man, this is just a crapshoot here as the showdown continues, the AutoZone showdown. Odi Bakshish, Jonathan Castro, one battle between them. Odi winning that battle, so Odi Bakshish will be out front. All right, so again, Odi Bakshish, Jonathan Castro, as Odi Bakshish qualified 3rd, Castro qualifying 19th, but Castro really seems to be shining when it comes to some head-to-head battles, as we've seen from him previously this year, and even in the top 32. Castro went through Matt Field, and Odi Bakshish, this is his first head-to-head battle, as he qualified in one of those coveted top 4 spots, so he got the automatic fast pass into the top 16. And here comes Odi Bakshish, Falcon tires, V8 S14, Jonathan Castro in that chase position. What do you got? Odi initiates. Wow, look at that, quickly. Castro sticks to the side of that S14 of Odi Bakshish. Wow. And through the power rally goes Odi and Castro. Oh, Odi flirting with that tire wall. He tags it. Castro takes out that final front clip. That could have been another hairy situation, Ryan.
Well, great run here by these two competitors right out of the gate. Nice initiation by Odi. Right on the inside there is Jonathan Castro trying to maintain that proximity. Odi right through that second hash mark on that first inside clip, now moving through that second outer zone. Jonathan Castro sticking with him here, coming through the power alley, taking that tight line through that inside clip. Is Jonathan Castro a little bit short, and then Odi just nips that little part of the tire wall there, and Castro, a very tight line, dropping a tire, coming into the dirt there, but keeping close distance to Odi Bakshish in a good competitive battle in run number 1.
All right, so now we'll see Jonathan Castro out front, Odi Bakshish in the chase position. And Odi Bakshish, non-contention for the championship, but still in the top 5 drivers in the standings. All right, so from what I understand, we will be having the track go cold for a moment. There is a lot of debris. There is rocks and debris all outside. When Odi went deep into that tire wall, it looks like he pulled a lot of tire and rocks and dirt onto the track. So we're going to take a short break and get the fans out here. Not talking about you, the fans, but talking about the blower. So we're going to blow the track, make sure it's all good, and we will be back here in just a few moments. Again, we are taking a short break here with Castro and Odi Bakshish as they brought some debris on track. We will clean it off, and then we'll continue with the action. All right, well, welcome back here as we have a short break here. It was actually Castro that went into the dirt and threw some stuff out there. So, again, when we take a short break here, but now's a good opportunity to grab some words with Vaughn Gittin Jr.
We are going to see Vaughn Gittin Jr. move forward. And Vaughn, I hate to bring this up, but 2 years ago, you went into the wall. We've seen a lot of drivers going into the tires. It's causing a lot of chaos and mayhem. So what do you attribute that to?
You know, this track is, you're really firing the car through the touch and go and past inner clip number 2. My situation was actually a fueling issue in which just set my car straight after inner clip 2, and last minute I backed it in and probably saved myself to being here at this point. It was the worst crash we've seen in FD history. So you can see they've put tires here now, which is kind of a double-edged sword. If you getting the tires wrong, they can send you in the air, they can spin you, put you on your roof, but it's arguably better than, hitting that thing dead on. So we've seen some serious carnage for it this weekend, or with it this weekend. And for me, I'm just looking for redemption. I haven't had much good success here in Texas. I'm feeling good. I got a free buy with Matt Kaufman, which is unfortunate because I was really looking forward to battling him, but we'll take what we can get, and I'm looking forward to the party tonight.
Okay, Vaughn, thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't see that, and I don't think it looked like it was the way.
So 2 more or 1.5 battles left here in the top 16 we are going to finish out the second half of this battle between Bakshis and Castro, and then we have Peter Vincic versus Daijiro Yoshihara in the top 16. Here we go, the second half of this battle. Castro out front, Bakshis in the chase position. Into the outer zone goes Castro, nice job. Bakshis right there. Did a good job into that outer zone. Now into the power alley. Castro, a little bit more angle than that of Bakshis. Into that final outer zone. Castro rides that white line and crosses the finish line.
Good start here by Odi Bakshis and Jonathan Castro. You can see Odi taking that inside line there, and Jonathan Castro hitting that outer zone. Odi sticking with him, matching the angle here through inside clip number 1. Great job by both guys to get deep into that second outer zone. Castro through this second inside clip. Odi sticking to him here. Great job by Castro getting that left rear wheel right on that white line, but Odi not letting him run away. So great job by both competitors there.
All right, so, excuse me. As we are whitewashed here with our vehicles lost in the smoke, as Bakshis and Castro, one more battle left here in the top 16, and we will forge our Great 8. Peter Vincic, Daijiro Yoshihara. Daijiro Yoshihara warming up his Falcon tires right there. You can see the Falcon tires S14. Who's moving on, Castro or Bakshis? And all judges, it's Odi Bakshis. Odi Bakshis currently 4th in points in the championship, advances on into the Great 8. One more battle left here in the top 16. Peter Vincic from Poland, Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15, Sylvia, Formula Drift rookie, is going against a former Formula Drift champion, this V8 turbocharged Turn 14 distribution Falcon Tires BRZ. And now we are going to see again Peter out front. Vincic qualifying 6th compared to Daijiro Yoshihara's 11th. And we are ready to see him send it. Peter Vincic out front. Throws it into the outer zone. Daijiro Yoshihara, middle of the road, middle of the line. Vincic wide around that first front clip. Very fast into the power alley, but cannot shake Yoshihara. Transitioning into the outer zone, filling all of it is Vincic. Yoshihara just about a tire length back from him on that outer zone.
So Vincic coming through the chicane here, and you can see Dai opting for that inside initiation. Vincic back on the throttle here, big smoke line. Dai about a car length away, but closing the door. You can see Vincic was a little bit wide on that first inside clip. Both drivers hitting that second outer zone. Nice wide line here by Vincic out front. Dai maintaining pretty good proximity. Made a little tiny flub there, but barely noticeable. Overall, pretty good run there to start off this battle.
All right, so here we go. Daijiro will be out front. Peter Vincic will give chase. Dai initiates in the outer zone. Peter Vincic right there. Then pulls away. Oh, Peter! It's hard to see in the darkness. Didn't know if there was some contact as they come out of the power alley into that final rear clipping zone. Dai getting all the way in it. Look at Vincic applying the pressure. Peter Vincic right there, looming in that smoke trail, Ryan.
Well, Peter made a little bit of a mistake on that first corner, but he redeemed himself towards the end. You can see he opted to initiate closer to that outer zone, and then right there he surged forward. Looks like he does make contact with Dai. So you can see he made a little bit of a mistake there. There's a gap pull through the power alley, but then Peter is able to close the door here through this the second inside clip rather, and then die through this outer zone. Just a tiny, tiny bit short there, but Peter really buttoning up the back end there and able to close the door in that last section.
All right, so we are waiting for the verdict between these two drivers, and then that will be our final grade 8 driver. As we wait, again, already in the grade 8, James Dean. Here is a side-by-side of these two drivers. You can see Daijiro Yoshihara out front on the right, Peter Vincic on the left. You can see Peter banging doors. Doesn't look like the attitude of the car. I don't know if there was contact exactly. See, big angle from Daijiro Yoshihara. Dai with great proximity and mirroring the angle on the left. Vincic falling back. Dai deeper in that outer zone. I mean, this is a pretty good battle here between these two guys. Thanks for watching all the way from Finland. Asko Tolinen. JRC DT. Thanks for watching. Double G-Force. Here we go, Yoshihara, Peter Vincic. Do we have a winner advancing on to the grade 8? Ryan says Daijiro Yoshihara. Andy says Peter Vincic. Brian says Daijiro Yoshihara. Daijiro Yoshihara gets the win and advances on into the grade 8. James Dean is going against Chelsea Denofa. Frederick Osbo versus Ken Gucci. Vaughn Gittin Jr. versus Chris Forsberg. Odi Bakshis versus Daijiro Yoshihara. Some usual suspects. Who's going to come out on top? The grade 8 is the next stop on this party train. That is the AutoZone Showdown. Round 7 of the Black Magic Formula Drift Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras when we return after this short break. The grade 8 is here. Welcome back. The grade 8 is here. How we doing out there at Texas Motor Speedway? That's you up there on Big Haas. World's largest TV. If you're watching around the world, hashtag FDTX. Keep the conversation going. Thanks for joining us. Jared Dienda, Ryan Sage, my co-host, Ryan Lontaine giving us some insight when necessary from the judge's standpoint. And then finally, Lorette Nickel, our girl on the ground, giving us some insight on what's going down in the pits. Ryan, this is it, the grade 8. James Dean, Chelsea Denofa. This should be a fun one.
Yeah, this is another one that Frederick Oswald is going to be watching very closely here, as I imagine all battles between these two competitors tonight. And Denofa is a massive challenge for James Dean. Denofa seems to be doing what really amazing athletes do, trying to peak at the right time. He seems to be getting better and better every run out there, and you just know that he's willing to go 110% every single run, lead, chase, follow, whatever.
I think James Dean needs to reach deep for his bag of tricks here going against Denofa. These guys have never seen competition against each other, and you know, with James Dean coming back after 7 years, Denofa doesn't have any experience going against him. But also Chelsea Denofa, this is only his first year in that Ford Mustang, so he doesn't have a lot of track time or basically an opportunity for other drivers to spectate and see how he drives this thing. And it seems like every event he's just changing the setups and the dynamicness of this vehicle. As I was joking, it looks like a Pro 2 truck versus a drift car, the way how loose that vehicle is set up. Those Mustang RTRs of both Chelsea Denofa and Vaughn Gittin Jr. Very loose setup, but it seems to be working. Both of them are in the grade 8. Here we go, our first battle of the grade 8. James Dean, Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15 from Ireland, currently leading the Formula Drift point standings in the championship. Chelsea Denofa, BC Racing Coilovers, Nitto Tire, Ford Performance, Mustang RTR. And the lights are beginning to illuminate and extinguish. It's send-it time. James Dean out front, Chelsea Denofa in the chase position. Into that outer zone goes James Dean. Whoa, sparks flying. Chelsea Denofa causing his own fireworks. Right there on the tail end of that Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15, through the power alley. The 2J firing off, sparks flying. Chelsea Denofa shallows up. Does not get all the way to that outside zone.
I wonder if that was a tire debeating. It's hard to say for sure, but there's definitely a lot of sparks out there. Let's take a look at this. On this initiation right here, you can see sparks from the backside as he bounces up and down. And right here, you can see Dean coming very tight on that inside clip. Denofa through there. Now watch, there's going to be another set of sparks here, right there. Wow. And then Denofa really on the e-brake on the inside. So Denofa looking super strong there, except for that last section of the course. But he is back on the line, it looks like. And James Dean, a solid lead run here.
All right, so again, some speculation there on a tire beating the center line alloy wheel, taking a hit, but keep on rolling. Those muscle car wheels living up to their name in the power rally, but yeah, a couple of the vehicles are sparking there when they're shifting, so might yeah, it looked like the attitude of the car, but that's again that floaty suspension. All right, so taking a look here to see if there's any debris on track. What do you guys think of that stuff? Make some noise, Texas. Chelsea Denofa, say howdy, get rowdy. He's definitely getting rowdy in that chase position. He did shine. I mean, we were kind of, wow, he's creating all these fireworks. He's creating all this noise. Let's take a look at this again here. So watch here. It looks like the attitude of the car gets shifted up, but
yeah, right there, when it bangs down, you can see a big batch of sparks hits, and then it's going to be hard to tell from this side of things. We could probably catch it from camera one, but as he dips again, it looks like right there, boom, another set of sparks.
I think the smoke just intensifies.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Well, his car's number 88. He was going back to the future. Old throwback to Florida. All right, so as we are going to see James Dean, Chelsea Denofa go at it again. And here we go. So Chelsea Denofa will be out front. Might see some sparks in James Dean's face. Hopefully a spotter's in his ear. Says, watch out, here we go. Boom, Chelsea initiates into that outside zone. James Dean, the machine, mimicking the angle of, difference of tire. Big angle from Denofa. Massive angle, almost perpendicular. Brings it into that final outer zone, shores up, takes out that front clip. Wow, huge angle. That was like backwards entry through the power rally. His nose was pointed at the judging stand.
At first pass, that's begging for a one more time for me, but let's take a look at this again. That was incredible. Denofa continues to do things that just seem impossible in a vehicle. Right here, James Dean dives in, looking just so James Dean-esque. Door-to-door action here. Denofa dips a tire through this section. Watch James Dean come through the center section here. He's going to have a little bit less angle. Denofa is a little bit wide on that second inside clip, but it goes way deep into that third outer zone. Meanwhile, James has to make an adjustment, and he's a little bit shallower there. So love to see how the judges interpret that, but wow. Just want to know how much did he slow up coming through that second inside clip. You know, the judges want to see full momentum through there. Was that angle too much angle? Did it throw James off? That's the only thing I can think. It was very, very spectacular, though.
Everybody hold up their cell phone lights right now. Everybody hold up their cell phone lights. Get up there. We're going to use those later. We're going to do a cell phone light wave when we get into the final four. Light up the sky here with smoke and lights. All right, so I want to ask you again, we'll do that in the final four. Here is side-by-side the BC Racing custom coilover.
Yeah, you can see on the right side of your screen with Denofa in the lead. James super tight there. Denofa back a little bit. We're trying to maintain that similar angle. Now coming through this section here, Denofa's going to dive in, and then on the right, Denofa's going to have that big angle. Now this is where James has to make an adjustment. And we just want to know how much momentum that Chelsea was carrying through that second inside clip. The judges want to see basically full throttle through there, and then a small lift into that outer zone, that final outer zone, and throttle through there. But that was an amazing thing to watch by Denofa, just doing what he's able to do with that car. So much smoke out on course, and James being super composed and not letting it get to him and just battling through it.
All right, so here is the outcome. Where are we going? Denofa, Dean, or one more time? There's a one more time from Ryan. And Brian says James Dean. Andy says James Dean gets the victory. James Dean gets the win 2-1, and he advances on into the Final Four. So James Dean, and his success continues. And Ryan, I'm kind of asking the wrong person here because you went one more time. The other two, Brian and Andy, said James Dean, but what say you?
Yeah, I figure we had a lot of the same errors that were made. Denofa was off of outside zone 3, just like Dean was. I tried to see if it was because Chelsea slowed down at inside clip 2, but it was really hard to tell from the replay that we had, the angle that we had, seeing the motion of the vehicle through there. It looked like Dean made an assumption that he was going to over-rotate or spin, so he kind of stayed back, which caused them to miss outside zone 3. But they really made the same error in the same spot, whereas their leads were really, really strong. So I just felt it should be a one more time and try to eliminate those errors, but the other guys had another idea.
Got it. All right, so as we advance on to our next battle, I want you guys to pull out your phone lights again. We're going to have a wave as the cars go past you in the bleachers. You're going to raise them up. Right now, it's Frederick Osbo and Ken Gushi, so have your lights on, have them down, and when they go past you, you shine the lights on the cars as they go past you, and we'll start a wave closest to the judging tower. So again, Frederick Osbo, Ken Gushi, ready to send it here for our second battle of the Grade 8. Who is going against James Dean? Will it be an Osbo-Dean repeat? We saw them do battle in Seattle. James Dean came out on top. We saw them do battle previously. So again, as Frederick Osbo and Ken Gushi go by, shine your lights on them. Let's get a light wave going past as Osbo initiates into that first outer zone. Coming into that first front clip, Ken Gushi right there. It's the all Toyota Racing battle. Shine your lights on them, people. Here we go, Texas, shining on them. Frederick Osbo, Ken Gushi, into that last outer zone, filling the outer zone. And into that final clip goes Osbo and Gush. Make some noise, Texas. Stomp your feet.
Well, good battle here. Very important battle for Frederick Osbo. Needs to get through this Grade 8 battle if he wants to contend for the championship. But Gushi not letting him get away, maintaining pressure here. Gushi a little bit shallow on that second outer zone, but nice and tight here. You can see Frederick Osbo, solid lead run out front. Just right on that white line, nicking it right there. Gushi gets on the brakes for a second. Just nicks that last inside clip, but overall competitive battle here between Ken Gushi and Frederick Osbo.
Yeah, that was really, really strong by both the drivers. I think Gushi had a phenomenal chase run, but Osbo I just can't not help but call him the robot. He puts the car in the right places. Now he's going to be able to chase down Ken Gushi. Let's get another light wave going here for the all Toyota Racing battle. Now it is the Gretty Performance Boost Brigade. Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla GT86. I called the Corolla, Toyota GT86, GT86 on Nexen tires, and then the Toyota Corolla IM, the Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota Corolla IM on Nexen tires as well. So all Nexen tire battle. Yeah, as it seems that we are clearing the track. Again, James Dean already in the Final Four, leads the championship. Will it come down to Irwindale? Will we crown a champion tonight? I believe we haven't. I'm not in charge of that. I'm just the messenger, so have people working on that. And here we go. Gushi out front. Osbo in the chase position. The OG versus the Norwegian Hammer. Gushi initiates into the outer zone. Frederick Osbo lunging forward, even tapping the brakes while doing so into the power alley. Big angle from Gushi, shining on him. As Gushi and Osbo pass that outer zone into that final front clip. Both of them performing surgery. Whoa. Gushi getting loose there, getting wide.
Well, another good battle here brewing as Gushi hits that first outer zone, wrapping through this right-hand hook. Osbo trying to close the door, wavers for a second there. Gushi fills that second outer zone. Osbo trying to close the door, but you see a little bit of a gap there. Then through the smoke line, Osbo on the inside line. Gushi goes deep, hits that third outer zone pretty well. And then Frederick Osbo pulls up the rear end there. And Gushi, like you said, going off course, pushing there, but it was past the finish line, so no harm, no foul.
Both these two gentlemen of the sport waiting the outcome here. Will it be Osbo or Gushi going against James Dean? Are they going one more time? Slide him left for Ken Gushi, right for Frederick Osbo. Ryan, Brian, and Andy are 3 judges. Ryan says Frederick Osbo. Brian and Andy say? Andy says Ken Gushi. And Brian says one more time, they're going at it again. A split decision across the board as James Dean looks on to his competitor who's doing battle not only against Gushi, but also for the crown that is the 2017 Formula Drift Championship. Next up, we are seeing a Drift Alliance battle between Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chris Forsberg. Look at how many battles these guys have, 15 in total. Both of them been competing since 2004. Forsberg and Vaughn Gittin Jr., great friends off track, and now bitter enemies. It is NOS Energy Drink 370Z driver on hand-cooked tires. Chris Forsberg, the Force, going against Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn Gittin Jr., 2010 champion. Chris Forsberg, 3-time champion, most recently in 2016. Chris Forsberg will lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will give chase. Chris Forsberg qualifying higher than Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn qualifying 15th. Forsberg qualifying 10th. All right, the lights begin to illuminate for them to do battle. Again, we have the one more time battle of Osbo and Gushi right now. Forsberg and Gittin. Forsberg, feint entry into that outside zone. Vaughn Gittin Jr. chase him down. Some more sparks flying from another Mustang RTR. Flames shoot out of the hood. Vaughn exploding. The Black Magic clipping point. Chris Forsberg ripping through the power alley. Vaughn Gittin Jr. off course. Into the dirt goes Vaughn Gittin Jr. Chris Forsberg continues through into the outer zone. And Vaughn Gittin Jr. goes rallycross racing.
Well, I love Vaughn's approach here. Watch, he dips behind Forsberg. That way he doesn't get charged with not filling that outer zone, and then he's still able to tuck up and stay super close to Chris. But right here, he's going to hit that front inside clip, and you have to wonder what happens here as he comes through the smoke line right here. Watch in the rear, he's just going to fall back outside of Chris's smoke line and fall off course. He's going to go all 4 off, so that's going to be an incomplete for Vaughn Gittin Jr. Forsberg, no major mistakes out front, but knowing that Vaughn has that incomplete, he's now got himself in a really good position.
Yeah, well, Vaughn Gittin Jr. already back on the start line. Kind of surprised by that. Does he have a competition timeout? I believe he does. All right, so we will be getting the blower out to clean up the track, but Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chris Forsberg, Vaughn going way off course, and looks like we're going to clean up on aisles 1 through 10 here as we will take a short break. All right, and it looks like, all right, and our own Lorette Nickel is down with our current points leader as he watches on Frederick Osbo. Lorette is with James Dean.
Well, head judge Ryan Lontaine said that you and Chelsea both made a few mistakes, so how do you make sure that you clean that up for the final 4?
Yeah, well, that's actually my first run under the lights, and it's really tricky. But it worked out very good. I was happy with my lead run. And the chase run following Chelsea was really difficult because coming through the second inside clip, I thought he was so sideways. His headlights were almost facing my car, so I thought he was spinning out. So I was prepared for a crash or something, but as we came through the smoke, he was still going, and I tried to catch back up again, but that was a big mistake for me in the chase position. But while he was chasing me, he made a similar mistake in the same area. So really happy we're moving on to the final 4, and that's a great result for me in Texas, so I'm having fun. Pleasure, thank you.
Well said. He says, I'm having fun. and again, the Maximum Driftcast podcast that Paco, Corey, and Sam throw is really cool, and there was some great education there as they got some words with James Dean. He says, I'd be happy with just winning 1, and now here I am going for, you know, he has 3 wins. He's going for the championship. He's going against what he says the best drivers in the world, and he competes. He's constantly got a wheel in his hand, as all these drifters do. I mean, they're doing, you know, a lot of different fun things as well as competition, so it's great to see just the culmination of all the vehicle builds, all the different cars, all the different drivers, nationalities, and builds. So as Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chris Forsberg are on the start line. it seems that our staff is still cleaning up the course. And just inspect that one more time. Our final round of Formula Drift competition, October, the second weekend of October, Ryan?
13th and 14th.
October 13th and 14th, final round. Not only is it the final round of the 2017 8 Championship, but also
looks like the final round ever. I know we've said that before, but got the official word a couple weeks ago. So this is going to be the burn down party.
Let's not entice people too much. But yeah, it's from what we understand, it is formal, and they said it is the final competition and event at Irwindale Speedway. All right, looks like almost finalizing the cleanup here as these two drivers, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chris Forsberg. You saw how many times these guys have gone against each other. So Vaughn will now lead on the second half of this battle. Vaughn and Forsberg, James Dean already in the final four. Osbo and Gushi still have competition against each other in the one more time battle. And then finally Odie and Dai, the final battle of the Great Eight. We'll finish out this battle here, the second half. I could see Gushi and Osbo. All right, and we are ready to send car. The second half of this battle, Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chris Forsberg. Chris leaves a little early, which is allowed, and we have a clean start. No cones are hit. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates into that outer zone. Chris Forsberg shallowing up, not getting all the way to the outside zone as Vaughn fills it up. Past that first front clip. Into the power alley. Sparks being thrown. Chris Forsberg playing catch up here as Vaughn brings it into that final outer zone. And Chris Forsberg into that final clip and around it, brings it to the door of Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Well, Jared, we heard James Dean talk about it, and I'm sure we're going to hear Vaughn Gittin Jr. talk about it as well. That smoke line coming through the power alley, very, very difficult, pure muscle memory. You really don't even know what the lead driver is actually doing. I think here Forsberg does cut that power alley a little bit short, takes that inside line, but with Vaughn going all four off in run number one, it would require Forsberg to make a very massive mistake in his chase run in order for Vaughn to force it one more time.
And here is the verdict quickly. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chris Forsberg. Slide him left for Vaughn and right for Chris the Force Forsberg. Chris Forsberg advances on, your defending champion, not in contention of the championship this year, but bragging rights as he goes against his Drift Alliance brother of Vaughn Gittin Jr. So Forsberg moves on to the final four. Who he goes against, we will find out. Odie or Dai. Now Odie qualified 3rd, Dai Yoshihara qualifying 11th. Chris Forsberg qualifying 10th, and James Dean 1st. You got Osbo qualifying 4th. Just looking at some of the numbers here as far as 3rd and podiums, and Gushi qualifying 12th. So we have 1, 3, and 4 number qualifiers in currently in contention of advancing on. So Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, now on the start line. And Ken Gushi warming up his Nexen tires. Both these guys on Nexens. Ken Gushi, Gretti Performance, Toyota Racing, Toyota GT86.
An imperative win here for Frederick Osbo. Osbo being the Great Eight, if he were to get knocked out here, that does open up the opportunity for James Dean to clinch the championship tonight. And he would need to win the event in order to do that, but he could put it out of reach, according to the calculations that I'm looking at right here.
All right, so here we are, the one more time battle between Osbo and Gushi. It was close on their first battle, and now it's Osbo and Gucci who's going to come out on top to go against James Dean. The Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota Corolla IM on Nexon tires, initiates into that first outer zone. Ken Gucci drops back. Can he gain some ground? And he does. Nice shot by the Goosh. Through the power alley. Whoa, Gucci falling off, getting into the dirt. And into that final outer zone is Osbo. You saw Ken Gucci throwing it down across that power alley, Ryan, but he just dipped the toes in.
Well, there's an opening here for Osbo now. This is the first large mistake we've seen Ken Gucci make. Incredible job on this right-hander here by Gucci. Look how close he is to Frederick Osbo, still filling that zone. But as he comes through and transitions through the power alley there, he kind of transitions and goes a little bit wide, and it forces him to have a really unorthodox line the remainder of the course. So a mistake there, it looks like, by Ken Gucci. Frederick Osbo, on the other hand, nice lead run overall there. And now I have to imagine his spotters telling him what he needs to do here in order to get the win against Ken, as Ken will now take the lead.
All right, so James Dean waits in the wings. James Dean is already waiting for who is going to go against Osbo and Gucci. And I believe mathematically, if Osbo advances on here, then we are definitely not crowning a champion tonight. We would find out at Irwindale, the final round, round 8 of 8 of the 2017 championship. But don't quote me on that. That is unofficial, but I believe unofficially that's what would happen. All right, so we are sending cars here. Gucci out front. Osbo chasing him down. And here comes Ken Gucci. Out of the chicane and into the outer zone. Bam, quickly, straight line approach by the Goosh. Ken Gucci take out second in points. Toyota Racing teammate Frederick Osbo. Osbo got a fire back. Lunges forward. Into that final rear clipping zone goes Gucci. Osbo shallows it up a little bit, but both of them tight to that final front clip, Ryan.
Well, so much of the big action pieces, Jared, tonight have taken place between that second outer zone or that second inside clip rather, and that third outer zone. The start here pretty clean by both guys. Gucci leading an incredible lead run here, coming through the power alley. You can see Osbo dives in, gives himself some angle, he transitions back around. Gucci tries to go deep into that third outer zone, and Osbo picking up the pace here across the finish line.
All right, do we have a victor? That was their one more time battle between Osbo and Gucci. Slide him left for Gucci, right for Osbo. Ryan, Brian, and Andy say. Ryan says Osbo, Brian says, Andy says Gucci, Brian says Frederick Osbo gets the win. We're going to Irwindale to find out who our 2017 champion is. Oh, it was a mistake? It was unanimous. I apologize. It was unanimous. Okay, so just a correction there. That was unanimous. All of them did say Frederick Osbo. Somebody got a little
Got to make sure you push the right button.
Yep, push the left button. All right, so Frederick Osbo unanimously gets the victory. He's going against James Dean. It's another Dean and Osbo battle in the Final Four. So Forsberg also in the Final Four. Our final battle of the Great Eight. Odi Bakshis and Daijiro Yoshihara, Ryan.
Yeah, big battle here. Odi Bakshis with that number 3 qualification, looking very strong. Has been kind of quiet throughout the weekend, but an incredible competitor. We've seen him have some really high points this year. He's got that win in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And definitely one to watch for here. Daijiro Yoshihara, a former champion. Strong performance this weekend as well. A good qualification for him, number 11. And he's taken out Dean Kearney early on, and then Peter Vincek, and now going up against Odi Bakshis.
Yeah, and Odi Bakshis, he had a bye run because he qualified 3rd. He went through Jonathan Castro, who's a real competitor, and now he's got to go through Dai Yoshihara. Both these cars V8s under the hood with a turbo setup on Daijiro Yoshihara's. All right, so Odi Bakshis pulls up to the line. Daijiro Yoshihara, turn 14, distribution, Falcon tires, Subaru BRZ. Far from stock and ready to rock. Ready to lock, as he says. All right, so Daijiro Yoshihara slowly warming up. We have James Dean, Falcon, Odi, Dai, their Falcon tires. Then we got Nexon and Hankook, so a variety of manufacturers mixing it up. As Daijiro Yoshihara now seems to be at the right temp. Big fresh daily here by Odi Bakshis. Daijiro Yoshihara, Odi will lead. And Daijiro Yoshihara will give chase here on the final battle of the NOS Energy Drink Great 8. Hashtag FDTX. Make some noise, Texas! Still sticking around under the lights. A beautiful evening here in Texas at Texas Motor Speedway. Odi Bakshis out front. Daijiro Yoshihara in the chase position, and away they go. Odi initiates straight line approach. Good job by him. Daijiro Yoshihara tucking into that Falcon tire, smoke past that front clip, just nudging it over, looked like a drop scared in fear. As Odi into the power alley. Daijiro Yoshihara going some rally racing on his own, coming in hot to that rear clipping zone. Gains some composure and then brings it around. That could have gotten really hairy there for Daijiro Yoshihara.
Well, let's take a look at that second inside clip there. That was probably the biggest moment of the battle so far. Daijiro Yoshihara opting for that inside line to stay close. Odi Bakshis filling that outer zone. Great job on that inside clip. Now moving out to the second outside zone. Now as we come through the power alley here, you can see right there, Dai goes off course, hits that second inside clip. Like you said, Jared, he is able to get his composure and get back on it. So it'll be a little bit of a mistake for Dai in the chase position. Odi out front, no major mistakes from him. Pretty good start overall.
All right, so now we will be seeing again that first clipping point. Looked like it just fell over in fear. Didn't look like they tapped it, just like, just fell over. But now we're gonna be seeing Daijiro Yoshihara and Odi Bakshis go at it again the second half. We already have 3 drivers in the final 4. The first battle will be James Dean versus Frederick Osbo. Throwing some fresh rubber underneath Osbo's Toyota Corolla IM. So Ryan Forsberg waits to see who he's going to be going against. Taking notes here is spotter Scott. Seeing who he's going to go against. Odi Bakshis, Daijiro Yoshihara. And it looks like we are going to be clear to send. The second half of this battle, all Falcon tire battle. But now with Yoshihara out front and Bakshis in the chase position. Again, October 13th, 14th. Irwindale, the final round to find out who our champion will be. And here comes Daijiro Yoshihara. And it was a false start. Looks like a cone was knocked over, so that'll be just strike 1 against Daijiro Yoshihara. Track. All right, so back into position. And 1 strike against Daijiro Yoshihara. Back on the start line. Just a strike, and here we go. Yoshihara out front. Bakshis in the chase position. And we have a clean start. Goes in that first outer zone. Yoshihara, Odi Bakshis right there. And looks like that midpoint fell over once again. Oh, D! Really coming at it. I want to look at this run again. Really fixated on Odi Bakshis. Looks like he hung it out there quite a bit. Ryan, walk us through this run again. It's kind of interesting what Odie did in that power, Alec.
Odie opting for that inside line, that's like some of the drivers are. Daijiro Yoshihara right here through this first inside clip. Great job there, just taps it right there. Odie keeping it super close. Watches Odie transitions. He's going to come late out of that second outer zone, kind of shoot off to the side. Really interesting way to approach that. And then Dai reaches out to that third and final outer zone. Odie on the throttle, trying to close the door towards the end.
Happy birthday, Dustin Allsbrooks. Happy birthday, Dustin Allsbrooks. All right, so we have our final battle. How are we doing out there, Texas? Getting digi-vaped out. Going whale watching. Look, there's a whale there. Oh. All right, so as we are waiting for the verdict here, who's going against Chris Forsberg in the final four, Odie Bakshis or Daijiro Yoshihara? Slide him left for Yoshihara, right for Odie. Ryan says one more time. Brian and Andy say. Brian says Odie Bakshis. Andy says one more time. They're going at it again. All right, so a one more time decision, 2-1. So we'll take a quick break. We don't want to advance on in the bracket. So Dean and Osbo wait in the wings. They're the first battle of the final four. And now one more time of Odie Bakshis and Daijiro Yoshihara, who's going against Chris Forsberg in the final four. Don't go anywhere. This is the AutoZone Showdown. Round 7 of the Black Magic Formula Drift Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras.
Out here in Texas, you need every advantage that you can get. And Chris, you feel like you had that with run number 1.
Yeah, so my run with Vaughn in top 8, we had the lead run advantage. So at this track, it's all about not getting lost in the smoke. So obviously in front, you're not going to be in any smoke. So we got to go out and just throw down a big angled, heavy smoke-filled run, filling all the zones. And we're able to do that. And in interclip 2, he got a little bit lost and went 4 tires off in the dirt, which gave us obviously a very big advantage for the chase run. However, it didn't allow us to just like kind of hang back and get the free win, because at this track, you have to stay in the pocket to get the win, or to be able to keep up and not get lost in the smoke, I should say.
And happily, this is the most comfortable that you feel with your car this season. Tell us why.
Well, I mean, this is the 4th round of competition with the new engine package, and, you know, it took 2 rounds to really dial it in. And I would say in Seattle, it was actually what we wanted. We were able to move the weight to all the places that we wanted to. We made some changes to the chassis, even a little bit more steering angle with our Voodoo kit. And but you know, Seattle, we had a real tough top 32 battle. Took us out early, but at least we felt like we had a fighting chance that time. And so now bringing that momentum here into Texas, and we're off to the top 4 right now.
Chris, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you, Lorette. Let's take one more quick break as we get the tires warmed up here between this one more time battle with Daijiro Yoshihara and Odie Bakshis. We'll be right back after this break.
Welcome back here at Texas Motor Speedway. Our fans saying howdy out here. Unfortunately, not getting rowdy with Chelsea Denofa, but Dean, talking about James Dean, Frederick Osbo already in the final 4, as is Chris Forsberg, waiting to see who he's going against out of these 2 Falcon pilots. Odie Bakshis, Daijiro Yoshihara. Odie Bakshis pulls up to the start line, and Dai warming up his Falcon tires. So Ryan, we were talking about some of the scenarios here in the championship, and again, this is before 32, but I believe unofficially, since Osbo advanced on Dean, they're meeting the final 4, it's going to come down to Irwindale.
It will be forced to Irwindale, but it's really imperative that Osbo beat Dean if he wants a fighting chance in Irwindale, because the point spread will be such that it could be potentially possible. I'd have to look at this in the details, but could potentially be possible that Dean could clinch it on his own, meaning that he could clinch it in qualifying with qualifying points.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so again,
very important battle there. Very,
very important battle in the final 4 going into the finals. So, and we've seen Osbo beat Dean. We've seen Dean beat Osbo this year. So there's no future. That you can only tell the future by looking at the past. And you look back at it? And, no, it's true. You can only tell the future by looking at the past. And we looked at the past, and they both won. So no telltale sign of who's going to come out on top. But right now, it's all about Odie Bakshis and that of Daijiro Yoshihara. We'll put a quick blip and rip out of that zone into the power alley. Whoa! Odi Bakshis getting into that outer zone. Daijiro Yoshihara finding some grass. Yeah, yep, that's exactly it.
Well, similar chase run by Dai from the initial battle. This time a little bit more aggressive, though. You can see as we come across the power alley here, watch the transition by Dai coming through the smoke line. A little bit early there, and then he's on a line inside that second inside clip. Last time he kind of centered it. This time he's a little bit further inside. So a mistake there by Daijiro Yoshihara in the chase position. He is able to make up some ground there towards the end. But nonetheless, something that Odi Bakshis and his spotter will want to talk about as they strategize for their chase run here.
All right, so we are seeing that of Daijiro Yoshihara now out front. Daijiro Yoshihara out front, Odi Bakshis in chase. The winner going against Forsberg. Next battle will be James Dean and Frederick Osbo. Seeing Dean there in pre-grid. All right, so happy birthday to Derek Avia. Happy birthday to Eileen, 12 years old. Happy birthday to Eileen. David, 12 years old. Happy birthday to you at home. Dad says he loves you. All right, here we go. Daijiro Yoshihara out front. Odi Bakshis in the chase position. All Falcon Tire battle. Who's moving on to go against Chris Forsberg? Looks like we have a clean start into that Black Magic Intense clipping point. Here they go again into that power alley. Finally wrapping around it. All the way into that zone. Look at Odi Bakshis. Surging forward is Bakshis. We've seen Odi grab a victory earlier this year. Can he get on the box again? And Odi Bakshis really dialing it in there, Ryan.
Very impressive from Odi. That transition right in the pocket against Daijiro Yoshihara was amazing. Let's take a look at this here one more time. Coming through this first right-hander, both drivers on that nice line on that inside clip, and then right there you can see the transition. Odi anticipates Dai's move, flicks it, gets inside, and then right there keeps the pressure on, and then through this last turn, one more little throttle pour on by Odi Bakshis towards the end. And watch this transition here. So close. Just very precise driving there by Odi Bakshis.
And will we have a verdict here? I would have to lean towards Odi Bakshis after seeing that chase run. Unfortunately, Dai had the mistake. Slide him left for Dai, right for Odi Bakshis. Gets the victory. Daijiro Yoshihara is knocked out, and Odi Bakshis advances on into the Final Four. All right, so as we have our next battle, can hear him warming it up over there. That is James Dean in the burnout box. James Dean, Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires, Sylvia S15. That is correct, Ryan Lontaine. Yes, James Dean is guaranteed a podium at minimum third place if he loses to Osbo, but he wants to win. And the scenarios of points and championship at stake. So James Dean, Frederick Osbo, the first battle of the Final Four. On the other side of the bracket, it's Chris Forsberg versus Odi Bakshis. If Forsberg wants to podium, he has to win. James Dean waits on the start line. He will lead. Can he make this a perfect event? He's had 3 wins this year. Frederick Osbo with 2 wins. Odi Bakshis with 1. So collectively, they own all the wins that we've seen this year. 3 of the drivers in the Final 4. Can James Dean get 4 wins? All right, so as we see the next tires being warmed up by Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo, James Dean will lead. Osbo gives chase as they come to the start line. You guys have seen a battle against each other a few times this year, most recently in Seattle, and James Dean came out on top. Also, Odi was in the final podium. Odi currently 4th in points, shaking things up with his success this round of competition. Frederick Osbo knocking it into gear. Here we go. James Dean out front. James Dean out front. And here comes Frederick Osbo. What kind of chase run are we going to see from Osbo? James Dean, big angle there. Nice job by Dean. In the power alley, massaging it into that outer zone. Frederick Osbo tucks into that smoke trail. And then into that final outer zone goes James Dean. You see Osbo just shy of that final outer zone. Ryan Sage, let's look at this again.
Big battle here for the championship, no doubt. James Dean starts off, hits that first outer zone, back on the throttle. Osbo eyeing up this inside line here. Dean nice and tight on that first inside clip. Deep into that second outer zone. Osbo surging forward, getting lost in the smoke here, transitioning a little bit shallower as Dean goes real deep into that final outer zone. Then Osbo wrapping through that final corner and pulling some of that distance away towards the end. So you saw what Dean did in the lead, what Osbo did in the chase. Now they mix things up. Osbo to the lead, and James Dean chase him down in an ever important battle here for not only the championship, but also who gets on the podium here tonight.
All right, our track workers, there is the team. Sean and the gang cheering on their Frederick Osbo driver. All right, so as our track staff gets back into position, track is clear. Now Frederick Osbo will be out front. Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla IM on Nexen tires. The Wordhouse Drifting Falcon tires. S15 of James Dean will be chasing him down. Who's going to the finals? Again, James Dean, if he loses, is guaranteed 3rd place, but he wants to go for the win. And Osbo wants to get him to still be in contention for the championship. Osbo initiates. James Dean is right there in the mix, almost melding headlights together. Melding minds right now. Osbo and James Dean through the power alley. Dialed in is Osbo, massaging the back end of that Sylvia S15. Not all the way out to that zone is James Dean. As the Rockstar Energy Drink team looks on, Ryan.
Pretty similar here, splitting hairs maybe. We'll take a look again. Osbo fills that outer zone. Dean opts for that side-by-side action. He does not fill that outer zone, but he stays very close to Osbo as a strategic move. Super close here through that power alley and that second outer zone now through this second inside clip. Dean with him right here. Dean transitions maybe a bit too early, puts some angle in the car, doesn't fill that outer zone. Osbo deep into that zone. So both drivers making similar mistakes, where one driver's more extreme for the other than the other. It's all up to the judges now.
Yeah, throw your hands up. There's some whale watching there. See some spouts firing off. And here's the side-by-side of the BC Racing Custom Coilover side-by-side shot.
See Osbo in the right screen in the lead, Dean in the chase. You can see Dean a little bit closer through inside clip number 1. Osbo getting real deep into outer zone number 2. Dean as he transitions here in the lead. You can see nice and tight on that inside clip. This is where Osbo transitions a little bit early, and both drivers you can see not completely filling that third outer zone, but then both of them able to tighten up to their competitor on that last inside clip through the finish line.
All right, smoke lingers here from both the mouths of the vapors and the vapors of the cars. All right, here we go. Do we have a verdict? They go one more time. Make some noise, Texas. Slide them left for Osbo, right for James Dean. Ryan says one more time. Brian says James Dean. Is that correct? Okay, just want to make sure. And Andy says James Dean. James Dean's going to the finals. James Dean is Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tire S15, another step closer to a perfect event and a 4th win.
Well, no doubt we'll be talking about this battle throughout the remainder of the season, because this may have been a pivot shift where things almost got put out of reach. James Dean is now 1 step away from adding a points total to his championship 2017 season. That may be too much to overcome for Frederick Osbo as we head into Irwindale, and the only guy that can stop him at this point is either the winner of this next battle, Chris Forsberg, or Odie Bakchis.
Well, here is a look at the stats. Odie Bakchis and Chris Forsberg, eight battles overall. Chris Forsberg winning 6 out of those 8 as compared to Odie Bakchis' 2. Odie Bakchis, phenomenal qualifying position in 3rd position. He had a bye run on his first run. He went through Jonathan Castro. He just went through Die After One More Time battle. Chris Forsberg, his path was the way through Robbie Nishida, who was in that borrowed 350Z. He went through Michael Essa, and then he went through Vaughn Gittin Jr., and now here he is against Odie Bakchis. All right, so as we are seeing the second half of this Final Four battle, Chris Forsberg qualifying 10th. It is a must-win for him if he wants to podium, as 3rd place is decided by the higher qualifying driver who is in that consolation round. Frederick Osbo qualified 4th, therefore Chris Forsberg would get 4th place. Frederick Osbo would get 3rd. So, and again, if Odie loses, then he would still maintain a podium spot in 3rd place. And we are sending cars here with Odie Bakchis out front and Chris Forsberg in the chase position. Let's send it! Texas Motor Speedway. Odie Bakchis, Chris Forsberg initiating into that first Black Magic intense clipping zone. Hammering down past that first front clip, knocking it over in fear. Through the power alley goes Odie Bakchis. Crazy angle, hammering down into that final outer zone goes Odie Bakchis. Chris Forsberg shortens it up, just dips his backhand cook left tire into it, but Odie Bakchis ripping and tearing through the power alley, man.
Well, Odie Bakchis has quietly put together an amazing event, and you can see why. This lead run here, just phenomenal. Nice and tight on this first inside clip. Very deep into this second outer zone, feeling it all the way. Chris starting to fall back a little bit here. You can see Chris goes long on that second inside clip. Meanwhile, Odie throttling through that final outer zone and then muscling his way to that final inside clip there. A solid lead run for Odie Bakchis and a great start overall.
All right, so as we are now switching the positions, our track staff is cleaning up that first front clipping point. And again, the winner will be going against James Dean. James Dean in the finals. All right, so as Chris Forsberg waits, and we are cleaning up again the track, there's that rear clipping zone. we are back up to snuff. So James Dean getting a fresh set of Falcon tires underneath this vehicle. Forsberg will lead. Odi Bakshis will give chase. It is a must-win for Forsberg if he wants to podium. And if Odi advances on, that will mean Frederick Osbo grabs third place. Here we go, send it. Final battle of the final four. Here's Chris Forsberg initiating. Odi Bakshis right there. Big angle from Forsberg, overshoots that first front clip. Now into that power rally. Big angle from Forsberg, bringing it into that tight front clip. Whoa, big transition from Odi Bakshis. Odi rotates. Odi rotates as he exited the power rally, going into that final rear clipping zone.
Well, Odi may have given it away there. Let's take a look at this. We want to make sure we check out the replay in full detail here. Chris Forsberg initiates, fills that outer zone. Odi Bakshis is sticking with him here. Chris goes a little bit wide on that first inside clip. Now let's watch Odi in the chase position as Chris leaves that second outer zone. Odi through the smoke line here, and it looks like unimpeded. He just transitions a little bit too early. He may have not anticipated where to transition by being lost in that smoke cloud. Let's look at it from this angle here. Coming straight towards us, Chris on throttle there. Odi on the brakes, and just knows it looks like that he made a mistake, and a big one that's going to cost him here.
Yeah, it just looked like an early transition. I'm looking over to the spotter stand, his wife Amy, having some words with him. What exactly went on there? I'd love to see if Lorette could grab an interview with him. But got to be a little frustrated. Even again, if he gets handed the loss, or basically gave it to Chris Forsberg here. Ryan, Brian, and Andy slide him left for Forsberg, right for Bakshis, and there it is. Chris Forsberg gets the victory, and Forsberg's going to the finals. It is James Dean against your defending champion, Chris Forsberg, in the finals, Ryan. All right. All right, so the finals are set. James Dean, who's currently leading the points chase in the championship, he's going against Chris Forsberg. That means Odi Bakshis will grab third place here under the lights at Texas Motor Speedway. And then when we come back, so we'll take a short break here at Texas Motor Speedway, the AutoZone Showdown. Next up, the finals. James Dean from Ireland, haven't seen competition in 7 years, comes back and is one step closer to a fourth win in this 2017 season. He's going against the defending champion, three-time champion, the most championships of any Formula Drift driver, Chris Forsberg, in that NOS Energy Drink 370Z, when we return here to Texas Motor Speedway. The finals here, round 7 of the Black Magic Formula Drift Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway as we are getting prepared for the final battle here at Texas Motor Speedway, the AutoZone Showdown. You look at this, I mean, you got James Dean, who is a champion in his native Ireland, and here he is coming over here. He's fighting for a championship. He's going against the most successful, I'm talking about championships, Chris Forsberg. He's going against him in the finals. Our own Lorette Nickel caught up with the machine.
James, I have to ask you, was the pressure off knowing that you were on the podium?
A little bit, yeah, and to battle with Frederick no matter what happened.
All right.
Okay. This way more?
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. James, going into the battle with Osbo, you knew you were on the podium. Did that take the pressure off a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. When you get to the final stages of the competition, you feel internally that you have a result from the weekend. So you start to enjoy the later battles a lot more. And battling with Frederick, like we've had so many good battles this year, I knew it was going to be fun. I gave it all I had in the lead position. He was right there with me, and while chasing, I just tried to mirror every move he made. And I almost got lost just coming out to that outside wall again, because it's so tricky there. You're literally driving blind. But it worked out, and we're into the final. It's crazy.
Now, with almost getting lost, is there any way to avoid that in the finals?
Not really. You just have to take a chance and hope that it works out. And I guarantee you, every driver that's out here tonight in the darkness is taking a chance in that area. It's really tricky, but it shows just how brave all these guys are, and it's a crazy feeling when you pull it off.
Love the smile, James. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll see James Dean on track, not outside of his car, and we will be seeing him going against Chris Forsberg. As Chris Forsberg looks like, sounds like he lost his voice there, and he's got a podium. And some of those stats, Ryan, getting fed some of these stats. The most wins in one season was 2015. That was Frederick Osbo. He has 4 wins. So if James Dean wins, he ties that record of most wins in a season. And then another staggering stat is Forsberg has been in 7 finals since April 2014, but he has not won. He has not won an event yet, and that comes even with 2 championships as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been interesting to kind of watch this event progress, and we're seeing James Dean really just strike down on everybody and putting himself in a very sizable position. It looks like the calculations that we have here, if he were to win this event, he would take a 96-point lead into Irwindale. If he were to get second and Chris were to win, he would take a 76-point lead into Irwindale. So
Frederick Osbo is pulling for Chris Forsberg right now. I mean, if you look at it, 96 points, 76 points. As you said, it could be, the fate could lie in James Dean's hands. He could take it over even with qualifying going into Irwindale. So we might even crown a champion, not tonight for sure, that's going down, but even on Friday of Irwindale.
I don't think so. I think according to this calculation, he would still need to win his top 32 battle.
Okay. All right. So again, this is all unofficial, but we will return and we will officially find out who wins here at Texas Motor Speedway. Round 7 of 8, the AutoZone showdown of the Black Magic Formula Drift Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cams. When we return, the finals are upon us. All right, welcome back here to Formula Drift Texas, and Lorette Nickel caught up with Dylan Hughes. He's Chris Forsberg's head mechanic and also a Pro 2 driver himself.
Hey guys, down on the ground with Dylan Hughes, mechanic for Chris Forsberg, going into the finals. What are you checking for?
We're making sure that the car is absolutely tip-top shape. We're making sure that we have every ounce of grip we possibly have in this car. James Dean's on a bigger tire than us. We know that he is an absolute ripper, so we're giving it everything we got. We're ready to throw down the final.
Dylan, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, and there we are. We're in black and white here. Make some noise, Texas, as we are getting ready for our finals here. Ryan Sage, Jared Dienda, and we are around the world. Hashtag FDTX. Let's make some noise. Stomp your feet, Texas. These are the finals. 3 battles with these gentlemen. And James Dean winning 2 of the 3. We talked about the stats. James Dean going for a massive point lead going into the final round of the 2017 championship. Chris Forsberg, the most champions of any Formula Drift driver in history. He is defending champion. Can he get in the way as Frederick Osbo and his team looks on to see what goes down here? As James Dean will lead, can he make this a perfect event? He qualified number 1, and he's going against Chris Forsberg. James Dean of the Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15, Chris Forsberg and NOS Engineering, 370Z on Hankook Tires, send it, Texas! James Dean throws it into the Black Magic outside zone. Forsberg firing off, out the hood and out the back. James Dean pulls into the power alley, powering through and doing just that. Sending it into that final rear clipping zone. Chris Forsberg looks like gets thrown off a little bit as he entered out of that power alley. And across the finish line go both the drivers. Ryan, let's analyze this first portion of this battle.
Well, you heard Dylan talking about wanting to pull as much grip out of the vehicle as they could, and you can see here as we take a look at the replay, coming through the power alley, Forsberg is going to fall back a little bit, try to surge forward. He's going to go a little bit long. Let's take a look at this. Here's the initiation into that first right-hander. Great job by James on that first inside clip. This is where we start to see some separation here. Forsberg surges forward, and you can see him pushing off the line a little bit. He has to make an adjustment, take this shower line here to try to close the door to James Dean. So James has got a good start here against Chris, as now they'll switch things up with Forsberg going to the lead and James Dean chasing him down.
All right, so it looks like we have a clean track. Make some noise, Texas. Is this the final battle, the second half? It's been a beautiful night. We've seen some phenomenal driving. Would you agree? Make some noise. Chris Forsberg will lead. James Dean will give chase. Will James Dean get another victory? As Chris Forsberg going to get his way on 3? Let's yell, send it. 1, 2, 3. Send it, Texas. Chris Forsberg leading. James Dean in the chase position. Chris Forsberg in that sweeper. James Dean lunging forward to the door of the Z. Chris Forsberg in the wide swing. Now bringing it into the power alley. As James Dean inches closer and closer past that front clip. Into that outer zone goes Forsberg, and James Dean cannot be shaken, stirred. The luck of the Irish is on his side. The Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires S15 Ryan Sage.
Well, when the pressure mounts, James takes advantage of every skill set that he has in his quiver here, and you can see Forsberg pushing very hard, goes long on that first inside flip. James Dean not letting him get away. Forsberg through the second inside clip a little bit too inside there, and then you can see Forsberg makes that adjustment, but unable to shake James Dean as they wrap around this last corner here, and it looks like James Dean has it sealed up.
So if we have a verdict, we'll bring them right in front of you here in the stands. Again, if we have a verdict, we'll bring them on track right in front of the main grandstands, and then we have our trophy ceremony just behind our judging stand. Thank you guys and gals for joining us. Remember, drive safe. Don't forget to tip your waitress if you're headed home. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. Hashtag FDTX. But again, it looks like we do have a winner. We'll bring them in front of the stand. Join us over at the podium ceremony, giving out the carbon fiber trophies. Again, congratulations to our Pro 2 champion, Kevin Lawrence, clinching that last night. Travis Reeder for grabbing second, and Matt Van Kurt for grabbing third in the Pro 2 championship. A pro champion will be crowned October 14th, Irwindale, California, the House of Drift, for the final Formula Drift Pro round of competition at Irwindale Speedway. So again, and it bears repeating, the most wins in one season was held and is held by Frederick Osbo. He has 4 wins in the 2015 season. And if James Dean wins, he ties him for the most wins in a Formula Drift season. All right, so here are our 3 podium finishers down here on the track. Again, thanks for joining us out here, Texas Motor Speedway. There are the 3 machines. Make some noise for them as they step outside their vehicle. Odi Bakshis. Make some noise for James Dean. And Chris the Force Forsberg. All right, here are your podium finishers. And you already know who got 3rd place. 3rd place here at Texas Motor Speedway, the AutoZone Showdown. Round 7 of the Black Magic Formula Jet Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. 3rd place goes to the Falcon Tires vehicle of Odi Bakshis.
No.
And now, the winner here at the AutoZone Showdown. Texas Motor Speedway Round 7 of 8 with 1 more round left to crown a 2017 champion. It was against the most champions held of Chris Forsberg in the NOS Engineering 370Z and the Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires S15. Your winner here at Round 7 of the Black Magic Formula Drift Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras is unanimously James Dean is your winner here at Texas Motor Speedway. James Dean grabs the win here at Texas Motor Speedway, tying the record for most wins in a Formula Drift season. Congratulations to James as the big machine gets picked up by his teammates. And now, 2nd place here at Texas Motor Speedway in the NOS Engineering 370Z is Chris the Force Forsberg. Chris Forsberg grabbing 2nd place. Make some noise for Chris Forsberg, 2nd place here at Texas Motor Speedway. Again, James Dean tying the most wins of any Formula Drift season with 4. That is tied with Frederick Oswald in the 2015 season. I'm going to throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who is with our winner and current points leader in this 2017 season. Lorette.
Jared, thank you so much. As you can see, there's so much going on down here. Your team grabbing you, picking you up, celebrating with you. James Dean, you have just clinched the most wins in a season. How good does that sound to you?
Unbelievable. That is insane. But the guys, you know, the team, they're so happy because, you know, they work just as hard as I do for this. So thank you for all of them. My best friend Michael Sheehan, Peter Viensek, one of my best friends. Like, I met him 2 years ago and we've been having the best times, and only for him I wouldn't be standing here. I'd be watching the live stream at home. So I'm so grateful for everyone that makes it possible for me, and man, what a day.
You told me earlier that you have to have either good luck or bad luck on your side. The good luck obviously with you. How do you continue that momentum?
I just try to keep doing the same thing since Long Beach, just focusing on, you know, one step at a time, and it seems to be working. And, you know, the car is great. The whole team, again, like if this car was breaking, then I wouldn't be out here at all. So it's a full package. I'm a very small part of this, you know, big project. So I'm just so happy that I'm standing here right now.
Well, if you'll stay right here, Brian Bridges, I'd like to bring him in. Where did he go? He told me that he would like to deliver a message. So the man behind Bridges Racing, Brian, you have a special message.
I just want to say happy birthday to my father. He's back in California in the hospital recovering from a pretty big surgery. So just want to say happy birthday, I love you. And this is for you. And James just did really good. I'm beside myself. Like, Chris, it's good to see him back up here. Odie drove well. Everyone, this is awesome. So thank you, guys.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Brian, thank you very much. James Dean, congratulations.
Thank you.
Jared, back to you.
Thank you, Lorette Nickel. Congratulations to James Dean. He ties the most wins of any Formula Drift driver in a Formula Drift season. Chris Forsberg, as Bridges said, back on the podium. But another bridesmaid, hasn't had a victory since 2014. And there's our next broadcast, Irwindale, California, the House of Drift for the final time. I know we've said that before, but it is official. Ryan, you said it. It is official. That will be our final round. Formula Drift Pro Round at Irwindale, California.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. We're going to go out with a bang. It's great to see the way the championship is shaped up. Texas is always a monumental event in shaping the final event of the year. We know what Frederick Oswald needs to do, and everybody brings their A game when it comes to the final event of the year. And knowing that it's going to be the final event at Irwindale, you can only expect just a massive amount of fireworks.
Thank you so much for joining us here. Again, congratulations, James Dean, Chris Forsberg, Odie Bakshis. On behalf of the whole Formula Drift staff, drivers, sponsors, teams, thanks for joining us here at the AutoZone Showdown.